Hey there, my friend. What is up? I hope you're having an amazing day. You're probably wondering why I have my guitar here. Well, I'm gonna perform some music for you. Toward the end of this. Stick around. Would greatly appreciate it if you just stuck around to the end. Yeah. Thanks for checking out this video. Yeah, we're doing well. So let's get into it. I'm just here to encourage you today. And kind of just share my story. I've never really talked a lot about my story just because there are parts of it, that I've found to be somewhat embarrassing, and I cared what people would think, and I don't know, just kind of felt like people would talk about me for the things that I've been through. But I'm here to kind of just get over that fear a little bit today. So I talk a lot about the idea of being lost, and I think we all go through periods of feeling like we're lost, we don't know what's going on, we're just like, God, why are you going through this? Gosh, it just, man, my mind is just being flooded with all the times, all the different things over the past few years. So I'm gonna get into kind of my story real fast. So, and this is straight from the heart. Straight from the heart. It's just all I want to do is just encourage you today. Just come straight from the heart. But yeah. So my journey kind of, just the short version of the journey starts about 2019. Some of you know this, some of you may not, but I failed 6 businesses over the past 4 years. I've tried a million different things and trying to make it work, and it's, I think the hardest part about failing the businesses hasn't just been the failures themselves, but it's been along the journey of seeing other people seeming to progress while I am seeming to get more and more stuck each and every day. So that's honestly been the hardest part of my journey, is just continually feeling stuck while I feel like everyone else I know, all my other friends who haven't even been in business 2 years and they're already making 50K a month. Like, I know several people who that's their story. But one thing I'm learning is that everyone's on their own journey. I'm learning to not compare myself. I literally have this thing that I tell myself all the time, and this will change your life. It's changed mine. I just tell myself, stop comparison. Like, whenever I start to have these negative thoughts, I'm like, oh shoot, these thoughts that come in my mind where I start to compare myself to like this person I know, I compare myself to this mentor of mine, or like this person, because of, for whatever reason, the reasons don't matter. That's the thing, the reasons don't matter. But I have to tell myself, stop comparison, because comparison is going to kill you. I think we all know that. Comparison is going to kill you. That's all I'm here to tell you, this comparison is going to kill you. So stop comparison. Try it out tomorrow, this evening. If you have negative thoughts coming in your mind, just tell yourself, stop comparison. It works like a charm. Every time I have negative thoughts, I say stop comparison. The thoughts go away, and just continue to repeat it until the thoughts stop. Because you may not be able to control the thoughts that come in your head, but you can control the direction of your thoughts. You can diverge your thoughts. You can change your thoughts. So just a little tip for you. I hope that encourages you. Stop comparison. But anyways, so yeah, we all go through periods of feeling lost. I definitely have been lost. And starting 6 businesses. My very first business was a T-shirt business. It was called Leave Your Marks. As a T-shirt business, I ran that for about a year, from 2019 to 2020, for an entire year. And I spent thousands of dollars. Hundreds, between hundreds and thousands of dollars, tons of money on ads, on just like trying to figure out how could I get this business to actually make money. I kid you not, I didn't make a single dollar from the business. Like, the only person that bought T-shirts was my mom, which it's great, but like it doesn't really count. The only person for an entire year. In fact, what was funny, I actually made more money from closing the business than I did from opening it. You see, when I closed the business, when I announced on social media, hey, yeah, I'm closing this business, I didn't give reasons why, but I just said, hey, yeah, I'm closing the business, pivoting, moving on to something else. I actually had like 2 or 3 people. One of my friends was like, hey, I want to buy something. And then another aunt was like, or one of my great aunts, one of my godmother was like, hey, I want to buy something. So I actually made more money from closing the business than I did from opening it. And sometimes life is like that. Sometimes you find more peace, you get more results from just stopping something than you do from continuing. Sometimes you have to know when to pivot. Sometimes we think pivoting is getting up. Pivoting and giving up are the same thing. They're not the same thing. Pivoting and giving up are not the same thing, my friend. I don't know where you're at in your life, but if you're in a situation where you're trying to figure out, should I pivot, or not, the only way to know is to try. Pivoting and giving up are not the same thing, because that's what I thought for a while. I was like, shoot, if I pivot, if I try something else, won't that be quitting? And then I realized, you know what, first of all, number one, I actually hated running the T-shirt business. I actually hated it, to be honest. Didn't really enjoy it that much. I was just doing it because I was trying to find a way have resources and money to pour back into my music, but in reality I should have just either gotten a job or tried something else. So I actually hated it, running a t-shirt business. That's number one. Number two is, doing something you hate, again, it's not worth it. Number two is, if I wanted to earn more money, I should have started a different type of business because, starting a t-shirt business, it's clothing business, they're a dime a dozen. It's very hard to make profit. E-commerce stores, same thing. Like, I should have started a whole different kind of business. There were tons of different business models, which I didn't realize at the time. I was just getting started. When you're starting something, you don't know what's going on. So, yeah, it's kind of where I was at. So, started a t-shirt business, closed it, and then business number two, I was like, all right, let me try something music related. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shopify, but on Shopify they have like a marketplace where you can sell and buy stores for like cheap. Well, you can sell basically, they're all e-commerce stores, so they're not like crazy expensive, but I basically bought a store for, I don't remember how much it was. It was like, I think $100 or something. And I was just like, all right, let me see if I can make a profit from this. And yeah, so I ended up buying a store, and then trying to make a profit. That didn't make any money. I was in April 2020, I think it was April, around February or April of 2020. I can't remember which one, but it was early 2020. And I ran that for about 2 or 3 months and then realized, yeah, I also hate this too. I was trying to sell like Bluetooth speakers because I was like, all right, let me do something music related, but it still wasn't it. And so, yeah, I made no money from that. I didn't make a single sale. So that's business failure number two. I was like, yeah, I hate this, so I'm just gonna pivot. So pivoted again. And again, if you're watching this, you're tuning in, appreciate you tuning in. Just want to say I'm going to be performing a little music toward the end around the theme of being lost. So stick around. I appreciate you watching till the end of this video. Got an impromptu concert for you. Again, like I said, this is all from the heart. I did prepare a little bit for this. I'm not trying to imply that I didn't prepare. But this is all from the heart. This is not scripted or anything. So appreciate you leaving a comment if you enjoy this. So thanks so much for tuning in. So, all right, to get back to my business failures. So business failure number three. You have... This is kind of also the other funny part. I actually started 2 different businesses twice without realizing it. So here's what I mean. I started one business. I was, really also doing music production, and I was like, all right, let me pivot. And then I saw eventually this ad for this guy named Gabe Legion. He teaches people how to build their beat stores and become music producers. Saw an ad for his stuff, the stuff that he does, and so I joined one of his workshops and was like trying to start a beat store. And I even, if you guys know Russell Brunson, he's a big entrepreneur, built ClickFunnels, his big company, has this book called, he has this this trilogy, but this book called Traffic Secrets that he released in 2020, and it was a really influential book, or excuse me, I think he released it in 2019 or 20, right around this time. It was a little earlier, but yeah, he released the book, and, I ended up buying and reading the entire book. It was a huge, huge book. I love the book. And I ended up realizing, yeah, okay, so I was also trying to figure out where I was going to put my focus on, because number one, I was already an artist, I write songs and rap and sing and all those things, and I also was doing the production stuff. And so I was like, all right, whatever I end up doing is going to take a lot of my focus. Like, I'm going to have to pick something. And I also play instruments too, so it's kind of a lot to try to, build a number of things at the same time. That's another thing. If you're trying to build something, please focus, because focusing is gonna really help you. It's gonna take you to the next level. It's just picking one lane, focusing, going all in. It's gonna be huge. And that's kind of where I struggled a bit, is just kind of figuring out where my focus should be. I know everyone kind of, we all struggle at times with focus, but focus is huge. Just picking one lane. Yeah, we live in the age where a lot of people are just trying to do everything. Including myself. I've been there. And I know that if you're trying to build something, you're on a budget, you may have to for a period of time, but no one is self-made. We all need help. We all need a team of people helping us. So whatever you can delegate, try to delegate, but focus on one thing, my friend. I don't know where you're at. That may help you. Maybe if you're feeling lost, try picking one thing and focusing on it for a while. So yeah, back to my story. So when it comes to the businesses, I was trying to figure out, okay, so I can either do the music production and this beat store, or I can write music and just continue that, which was I was, either route was going to be a long road ahead, so I was trying to figure out which route I should pick, and I ended up picking, it's funny, for a few months I ended up picking the music production thing. Then I was like, yeah, I love music production, but I don't know if I want to keep making a beat store, because I also wasn't making progress with that. So I just said, all right, let me just stop this and go back to just write my own songs. So I started creating a bunch of content, putting out stuff on social media, and I was, gaining a little traction. And then a couple months later, my one of my mentors, who I joined one of his coaching programs. He has this program called the High Performance Training Program. His name is Richard Yu. You can check him out. But yeah, he's got a business coach. But it's one of my first mentors, one of the first coaching programs I joined. It honestly, some of those habits still stick with me today. Life changing. Met so many connections through that. But yeah, so I joined his program. Richard ended up again, this is kind of where, like I said, focus. Richard was the one who taught me, all about focusing on one lane. It's funny, Richard actually was building a high-performance training program, his coaching program, and then he decided, you know what, I'm just going to teach other people how to build their own coaching businesses. So he decided, kind of like what I just said, to focus on one thing. So he decided to kind of stop focusing on high performance and switch to building a coaching business, teaching other people how to build their coaching business. And so that's when I was like, yeah, because a lot of my friends were also joining his program, his new program. And so I was like, maybe I could do this whole coaching thing. I was going to teach other people how to write songs and do a couple other things and learn throw in some of the high performance habits I had learned with Richard. So I was like, all right, let me do this. And so then, but the problem was I didn't have any money. I had spent a lot of my other money on my other music stuff. That's where most of my money that I spend goes toward my music or business related stuff. So there have been so many times over the past few years when I regularly been broke, had no money because I spent it all on either coaching or my music related stuff, and it's been very frustrating, not having money to actually pay for things I want to pay for, but it's just part of the journey. I think, if you're trying to build something, you're probably going to be broke at some point, you're probably going to go through a financial struggle. It's just part of it, before you, get a more stable income. I think that's just part of it, so you just got to keep pushing wherever you're at. But yeah, so it's going through a big financial struggle, and so yeah, after that, dealing with the whole thing with Richard, I was like, all right, for 3 months I did that. That was March of 2021. Started doing that, and I was trying to, it was funny, I was trying to figure it out on my own, which is the hardest thing in the world. It's so hard to figure stuff out on your own nowadays. Just get a coach, get a mentor. It makes things faster. But I was trying to figure it out on my own because I didn't have the money. I was just trying to see if I could get a sale in order to fund me being able to get into Richard's program, which is funny because that never even happened. I never was able to get a single sale. And I remember being so frustrated. I remember just pouring my heart and soul, sending tons of DMs every single day just to people and getting ghosted, getting ignored, people telling me they buy and then they ghost me. It was so frustrating. I can't tell you how hard it was. Like, I cried myself to sleep so many times. I just battled depression. Like, it was super hard. It was really tough, extremely tough. And after I just dealt with all those very difficult times. It was summer 2021, last summer. For 3 months, I ended up one day coming across, she actually followed me. Her name is Katarina, but she helped people build their music businesses and help people build a custom songwriting business. So I found her and I was like, oh, this sounds like a cool idea. And I ended up joining her program because she ended up following me, and I ended up messaging her saying, hey, I really want to do this. And so, but here's the thing. There are a lot of coaches out there, and not all of them are good coaches. And I'm not slamming her, I'm just saying, sometimes there are coaching programs, because I've been a part of a lot of different coaching programs, some of which have been very good and very organized, and, many of which are not. And that's, one of my frustrations is I've dealt with a lot of coaches who are just aren't good, It's like they tell you, sometimes I was doing everything that I could possibly think to do. I was doing everything she was saying. I was getting a lot of vague results, and so it was just really a struggle. And I'm not here to slam her. It was just really a struggle. It's just a huge struggle. But yeah, so I eventually powered through that, and 3 months after that, I saw an ad for this position on Mission, because I was like, all right, let me find a coach who can actually help me get results, because I was doing everything she was telling me and wasn't getting results anywhere with this, and I was just really frustrated again. And that would make business number, we got the Lums, Leave Your Marks, Torch Beats, we got the beat making, we got the coaching, and we got the custom songs. All right, so now brings us to business number 6. So here's where I got to music production and kind of circle back to music production. Remember when I said I started 2 businesses twice without realizing it? Well, yeah, this is where. So music production. Start that again. I see an ad for Musician on a Mission. That program. Now here's where it gets interesting. Again, I had some more failures, but this is where I actually started to find a little bit of success. Some people don't know this, but I ended up working with 3 music production clients. Getting paid a little over, a couple $100s for each client. So yeah, it was a big win. I was like so happy, and it was funny. They were like back to back to back. I was so happy. It's like, I remember this March of 2020. It was March of this year. It was like the happiest day of my life. March, end of March, early April. So happy. I remember just being so happy. I still just, oh man, wish I could go back to that moment. But it's funny, I had 3 clients back to back, and then the clients just stopped. It's just like, business is full of false starts. You think you're making progress, then you don't. You go forward, then you go backwards. So, yeah, it's kind of what happened with me earlier this year. Clients just stopped, like literally for like a month and a half straight. I just didn't get a single other client because they say raise your prices, and I did that a little bit, and actually got no more clients. And then I also started to come across another issue. If you don't know, I'm a Christian, and so which means that I try to stick to my values as much as I can. I'm not perfect, but which means that I don't curse in my music. I don't like to listen to music where there's cursing. It's a huge turnoff for me because of my values. I want to support and listen to music that is edifying and encouraging to people. And so there are a lot of artists who like to curse in their music, which again, not here to judge. I'm just saying that's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. A lot of artists like to curse, like to talk about things that I think are inappropriate. Talk about women in inappropriate ways. Inappropriate, all those kinds of things. I'm sure you guys know, especially in the hip hop rap culture, it's prevalent. And so I was working with artists, and I was like, I was coming across a thing where some of their music I was checking out, and it was just like, wow, this is not the kind of music I want my name to be attached to. Like if I end up producing for this artist, I don't want my name to be attached to a song. If they write a song about, some inappropriate, something that's clearly against my values, I don't want my name to be attached to that. So you know what I said? I said, yeah, I'm not gonna compromise. So I even had the opportunity. This guy was even willing to pay me, and he said, "Will you please produce my music because you like my stuff?" And he said, "Will you please?" And I said, "No, I'm not gonna do that. Your music, it's cool, but it's just not my cup of tea. It's not something I want my name attached to." And so I had to turn away him and some others, and so that's part of why I stopped doing the music production stuff. And so that brings me to I'm gonna try to wrap up this video. I'm not gonna go into my whole entire story today. I may share other parts of it later on, but yeah. So that kind of brings me to just taking a break from music. After that, I was just like, yeah, I need to take a break because this is June of this year. I even felt something in my spirit. I think it was the voice of God telling me, hey, yeah, you should need to take a break from music right now. So I just took a break. I was just like, I didn't make any music, make any songs. I didn't even listen to any of my songs. It was just like 3 months straight, like the entire summer. It's just like, took a complete break. And that's also when I stopped being on social media as much too. I was just tired of everything, frustrated. And that kind of brings me to the current thing that I'm starting is a new custom song business where I'm also doing some other things right now too. Just kind of trying to get back into things. So that's, when I said I started 2 businesses twice by accident, that is what I meant. So thank you for tuning in. Maybe I'll share more of my story another point. But I want to perform a song for you. It's actually my new song. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do a little, just going to do the first verse and the chorus, and then, yeah, we'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you watched to the end, I appreciate you. This is Lost. Hope you guys like it. Just a little snippet. It's actually a song I haven't released yet. Plan to at some point. But yeah, hope you guys like this song. This is the camera. You can see what camera bloops happen all the time. Alright. Or just, you don't need to see my guitar. Alright, let's do this. Sorry guys, I gotta get the okay, now tempo. I almost forgot it for a second. Alright. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Tired of feeling lost up in the world I'm living in. The more I try, the more that I just feel like giving in. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Da, 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 lost, lost my drive to keep it moving. I've been feeling so lost. Why am I going in circles? Everywhere that I turn, it's hurt. Buckets of pain pouring down on me, rain coming heavy and loud, leaving me more insane. I don't know where is my purpose. My anxiety's making me nervous. I hate this frustration that complicates all my actions. Don't think this straight. Want to change the world, executing things that are great. I know the frustration is present to make me be stronger. Yeah, but I had a time letting my head and reality is taking longer. I wasn't born to live a life that simply wanders. There are moments I don't shit actor, I should ponder. Feeling frustrated like all of the time. Working on patience, but I need some time. Attitude sour, just like a lime. Yeah, I just want to get better to spit rhymes. Tired of feeling lost up in the world I'm living in. The more I try, the more that I just feel like giving in. Hey, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Tired of feeling lost up in the world I'm living in. The more I try, the more that I just feel like giving it. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that song. Yeah. Like and subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. Drop a comment below if you like this. Yeah, stay tuned for when I release some new music. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace.